Hello and welcome to another Acrobat video. In this one, we're going to be looking at bookmarks. So bookmarks is this button over here, and you can see you're going to get basically something clear. So how do you set a bookmark? So one thing we could do is we could, for instance, select some text we want, so maybe the introduction here. We can right-click, add bookmark. And in that way, we'll actually add the name there. The other alternative is we could go to get rid of that. And we could just basically choose where we want to be on the page, right? So we could go down a bit. And then we just do add bookmark with Control B. So we want it to be here. And then what about if we wanted to do to be, for instance? We could do Control B here. And it's remembering basically the placement where we are on the page, right? So we can see we're up there, whether it's in to be, right? So this way we can go through different things, different areas of the page. Now, one concern that people do have is they can't actually, for instance, this one word order, it's actually more difficult and to actually set the bookmark here. So you'd actually have to be much more careful. So for instance, if I wanted word order to be at the top, you might think I'd be able to set it there, but you actually can't. And that's because Acrobat doesn't allow multi-page targets. This would be called multi-page targeting. So for instance, if I did a bookmark here, it wouldn't work correctly. So you have to be kind of careful of that, right? So we can drag that down to the bottom here. And you see, basically, it hasn't done it right because it only wants to target an actual page like that, right? If you'll notice these ones, there's only one page visible on the screen. These ones, only one page visible on the screen. So you can't actually do a multi-page target. So if you wanted to do something like that, you would kind of have to, you'd have to do something a little bit, it kind of can do it a little bit. It's very kind of dicey though. You have to go basically about there, and then we can go set destination. So we can do that. There's to be, and there's word order. So you wouldn't be able to get it exactly how you would want right at the page. I think it's basically, it must be to do with the percentage of the page that you can actually select. So you can kind of get it on. A lot of the issue is to do with the view. So yeah, so basically it's because I've got single page view as well. So yeah, these are the ones. This is basically as good as you can get it. So that may be okay if you don't care too much about having it absolutely perfect. But you see, in this situation, right, if I wanted to get to be absolutely perfect, right there, I would be able to do it completely correctly, right? So you can see that in that respect, if you know that your headings are always going to be towards the top half of the page, basically, as long as all your headings and all your bookmarks are going to be in the top half of each page, you can do it perfectly in this manner. Now, what else can you do? Well, one of the other things you can do, you can obviously rename your bookmarks. You can do properties as well. So, for instance, if I wanted this to be a more important topic, we can make that bold. We could also change the color. And you also have the actually ability to change some things here. So you can do a bunch of different options here. You could open file, open link, play sounds, play media, all sorts of things that you could do here, right? But we'll talk about links and we might focus on that a little bit more in that section. And of course, we have also the editing, right? So you could change the zoom level. So for instance, if we wanted to also nest the bookmarks, we could right click, add a bookmark here. We could drag this one all the way to the top. And then we could nest these ones in like that, right? So we could nest them in. So we could say, yeah, okay, we want to go word order, we want to go to be. It's not actually too bad, as long as you keep in mind that you could, as long as you sort of maybe look at this as a midpoint, you can actually potentially do it in a way that is. It depends. It depends, like how much you care about having it right at the top of the page each time, though.